Sydney Rogers, and welcome to another edition of FLX Weekly here at FingerLakes1.com. It is September 2nd, 2020, and we are live inside the FingerLakes1.com studio, where I am joined by Jim Senecropi and Rhonda Destino, Director of the Seneca Falls Heritage and Tourism Center right here in Seneca Falls. Today's show is brought to you by Bottomless Brewing in Geneva. Who's ready for the weekend, they ask. They want you to stop on by the brewery for a taste, a pint, or a growler of your favorite brew and enjoy live music all weekend long. You can head to their facebook.com/bottomlessbrewing to check out this weekend's lineup, specials, and more.
Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend, yes. It doesn't feel like Labor Day weekend in some people's eyes, I would say.
Well, the weather, as you'll find out later in the show, is going to be spectacular. It's going to be that nice line between fall and summer, and it's going to be a great Labor Day weekend.
Oh, can't wait to hear that. Welcome, Rhonda.
Thanks for having me.
We're glad you're here because you have a lot of stuff going on, this year.
A lot of changes in downtown Seneca Falls.
Absolutely, and we're happy to be, a part of that change in a big way. We are rebranding, so we've actually been working with all of you and your staff to help us get some of that done. So we are, as you mentioned, the Seneca Falls Heritage and Tourism Center. And we're the home of the Seneca Museum of Waterways and Industry. We're at 89 Falls Street, which also happens to be the town of Seneca Falls boaters' amenities as well. Yep. So we're very busy with all those folks coming in on boats, and probably going to be even busier this weekend since it's Labor Day, and people coming in to see that gorgeous fountain that was turned on this morning.
Yeah, we were just had a crew down there live streaming the fountain dedication. Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul was there, and the fountain's awesome. They're going to light it at night. We got a little rain during the ceremony, but overall it came off pretty good. And it's, the 100th, it's a centennial of the 19th Amendment, the women's right to vote, the push that was started right here in Seneca Falls. So it was supposed to be a big year for Seneca Falls, 2020, the centennial, but of course the coronavirus.
Stupid COVID.
So
there's a lot going on right in that area. And you guys, you mentioned before we came on the show, today was the first day that you were able to have all 3 floors open, correct?
Yes. So we had to kind of scale up our operations when it came to COVID, and when we reopened in the beginning of July, and we had our first floor open for visitors to come in, and then once the canal reopened, that bottom floor was open. And so again, the scaling up that the state as well as museum associations were recommending. So our second floor, which primarily has all of the Seneca Falls industry exhibits in it, was open today. And so this Friday is really this grand reopening for us. We did a lot of remodeling in the past 6 months. Those of you who may have seen or heard me or read me in print, I would say, over the last year of fighting for changes in our building since I've come on as the director. So you'll see new floors, which makes a world of difference. We've heard so many great things already since we've been open. New HVAC systems. So on those hot days that we had this summer, people could actually come in and enjoy some AC, which had not been able to be done in years past.
Yeah.
And also helps with those type of regulations that we're trying to do because of Corona. So we have a great ventilation system that we did not have prior, and so we've been very happy about that work. And then we had to recurate our space. Exhibits have to be 6 feet apart. We had to go as a one-way flow around our floors. And then we've made some other logistical changes. For example, we're still a cashless facility, which is recommended by numerous organizations that we work with. And so you'll see that we do have some 2020 merchandise that we had a lot of plans for 2020, of course. But we're still doing what we can to celebrate. And I think this grand reopening on Friday is a big part of that.
What time does everything start on Friday?
Right at 5 o'clock. So we're hoping to catch people as they're maybe headed home, or maybe some business folks here downtown can come on down for the Chamber of Commerce ribbon cutting with us. We'll have some wonderful members of the town board there as well. And then we'll have some guests within our building that will help you see through those changes that we have, give a nice tour. And then we'll also have some fun stuff for you to do on each of the floors. So I'll leave that to folks that want to pop in and see us on Friday. We are open 5 to 8 on Friday. And right now, because again, we had to open with shortened hours, we usually close at 4 p.m. So this will be the first evening that locals and visitors alike will be able to see our space in that evening time frame. And we hope to do this every first Friday of the month. To be able to have folks come in.
Well, you'll really be able to get a good look at that fountain this Friday, too, through the back window at the museum, yeah.
And everything, since it's now more open because of our new curated space, those windows on all 3 floors have a perfect view of that fountain and the mill. So it's great when visitors come in, we take them right back and we can point out different things that they should be going to look at.
I think that's a great little outing that you can take your kids to, because I still remember going on a field trip and loving, like, right when you walk in and the water was there.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it had stuck in my mind for this many years, because I'm so old.
So you come in and it's the Seneca Museum of Waterway and History, which are Waterways and Industry, which, obviously in Seneca Falls, there's so many facets to our history. So you have obviously the women's rights, and then you have the industry, Goulds Pumps, fires, trucks, and pumps were big coming, and even rulers, so much industry. But in Little Seneca Falls, made in part possible by the waterway, the Seneca-Cuga Canal running through the Erie Canal system. And so that Seneca Falls Waterway and Industry Museum, Seneca Museum, was kind of focusing on that aspect, but now you're kind of charged with all the history. So it's the Seneca Falls Heritage and Tourism Center.
Yes. So under New York State, so Seneca Falls is a heritage area designated by New York State. We happen to be the home base of that. And so when I first started, we really wanted to dive into what does that mean, and how can we better celebrate our heritage in different ways and with other heritage areas across New York State. So you'll be hearing a lot about that actually in these changes over the next year of that heritage area piece of us. And we are the town's visitor center. And so we had a little confusion because the National Park also has a visitor center. And so for visitors, it was a little confusing when they were on the phone saying, I'm at the visitor center. And they're like, I don't see you. I'm at the visitor center.
Right.
So we really came to grips with this rebranding idea. And what was able to help us push this forward was the DRI process, the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. Because as experts came in, architects, marketing experts, they were echoing what we were noticing and hearing from visitors. And so we were able to get our new logo, get our new name through that kind of research that they were doing. So it was such a nice process to be in until everything got delayed, of course. But so we're still waiting to hear from the state on our project in our building, of course, just like the rest of the slate. But that type of work really happened because DRI and Seneca Falls was in this research process.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Just the planning for the application got you thinking that way, and had us looking at Seneca Falls and strengths, weaknesses, that type of thing. But certainly smart, I think, to streamline. And really, if somebody's coming to Seneca Falls, you want the welcome center or the visitor center, or you want them to know where to start. And so it always seemed like the Seneca Museum right in the middle of downtown was the perfect spot.
Absolutely. So we say that all the time, that literally we're the center of Fall Street. And we do market ourselves as being that first destination, because we help visitors every day create their itinerary of what they want to do, how long they've been into town, if they've been coming by water or car or walking. We get all sorts of visitors that we're able to have that up-to-date information, which has been extremely helpful with COVID, because as you know, being local, things have opened at different rates and different days and different times. So it has not been business as usual where we could hand them one brochure and say, great, find your way around town. Let us know if you have any questions. It really is, our staff now has to think about, what day is it today? What is open? What activities are happening? And so when we get phone calls and emails, I say, if you're able to, please come in and see us first, because there might be that really up-to-date information and new activities that might have been open.
And from there, you can walk to anywhere, other than the lake, if you want to go down to see some lakeside, but anything in the heritage area, whether it be the Elizabeth K. Stanton House or the National Park or the Wonderful Life Bridge.
Yes.
That's all within literally a 5-minute walk.
And Seneca Falls has been a gem in that way, that it is a walkable town. And so when we've had so many restrictions over the past 6 months, that there were still things for people to do outside to be able to gain that history and that knowledge, especially in 2020, because people still wanted to come and be a part of this place. But buildings were closed. And so it was nice that we could say, here are some of the places you could still go to. Here's some great photo ops. And with signage and a little bit of information from us, it was kind of a self-guided learning experience for them. And so we are very lucky to have this walkable space here in town.
And, being someone who's downtown every day, what's your take on maybe the general field commerce or business? We know that some businesses have remained open throughout the COVID pandemic. Some have closed and reopened. Some have closed and not reopened. Just your general feel of kind of what's going on, or if you have any inside information on anything, we'd like to hear that too.
Well, first of all, I wish I did, because I always say I want more information of what's going on around Seneca Falls, because not only is it great for us to tell tourists when they come in, but we do also get locals popping in to say, hey, do you know anything about X, Y, and Z? For example, that barge coming into town to put up this fountain, we had so many locals popping in to say, Rhonda, what's going on? So communication is something that I hope to be able to build a better circle around the visitor center just of that information. But I will tell you that I was the only employee during the shutdown at our building, and it was so eerie. I'm sure you guys know from going downtown just from here, and nobody was open, and it was, the music on the street that we play from our building was then turning into this eerie, movie set.
Walking Dead type of situation.
It's so true. I'm just so happy that life is starting to come back. And I learned last night at the town board meeting that even they'll be putting up some celebratory banners across the street for 2020, that they do want to continue even after the calendar year to celebrate some things about the centennial, since we were robbed of some of those experiences. For sure. So that's something that I look forward to, is just continuing to scale back up.
Yeah, and I think that even into the fall, but certainly next year, you're going to see things really pick up in terms of visitors to Seneca Falls for a lot of reasons. Just the heightened political climate, I think, in the country right now has people thinking along those lines, or maybe compelling women to come or show their daughters or their sons, the history here in Seneca Falls. So I think it's going to be good, and it's good that we're going to be prepared for them with a proper, visitor center.
Yes, it's something to be proud of, and to see the building transform. I've been with the organization about 1.5 years, and so those first impressions of me walking in and just taking inventory of what I would like to see done. And of course, with support from the town, because it is their building, they do own it, and so you do have to, get a lot of permissions and all of that. But also from an organizational standpoint, that this building and this space has looked the same. And so sometimes when you want to change things, there's a lot of dialogue that needs to happen to talk about purpose. And when you talk about rebranding and renaming, there was a lot of conversation. Sometimes I was happy that we were shut down, because a lot of these conversations had to happen on Zoom. But it really did take some time and some effort for understanding, and that's now what we hope to be able to do with the public. That now, like you said, we'll streamline it, be less confusion. And for those visitors, they say, okay, great, here's the center that I need to be at, figuratively and literally, and then able to go and visit all the local businesses, other museum trail members, and really enjoy what we have to do. And we have a lot of information about the region, so our county and the Finger Lakes area. So if people have more than an afternoon with us, we spend some time with them of what they're interested in and where they can go from Seneca Falls.
That's awesome.
Which is why I said Seneca Falls is a great place to have your home base for your Finger Lakes vacation. Stay somewhere in or around Seneca Falls, and then take your day trips from there.
Absolutely.
So we talked a lot about what you've been doing professionally. What led you, personally, where did you grow up, go to high school, and what led you to this point, in your career?
You let me know when I have, a time check. No, I'm just kidding. So for me, similar to what Sydney was mentioning, I grew up in upstate New York in Wayne County, and had some field trips over here in Seneca Falls as I was growing up. And it always was in our mind, and we didn't, in my perspective, we didn't really own how cool the Finger Lakes were. Yeah. As a kid, you're like, oh, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go see whatever. Yep. And so that was really my mentality. And I moved, after college, had moved right to D.C., Politics were my thing. Communication was my thing. And so in D.C., when you start visiting home on breaks or vacations, you're like, why did I ever leave this place again? Aww. You really, the beauty of the Finger Lakes brings you back. And one of my educational degrees from American University is Women in Politics. And so when I saw this job posting some time ago now, I always say it seems like it was much longer ago. I kind of had this just nostalgic feeling, but also a sense of purpose of tying in my nonprofit experience, my political experience, and then also this women's piece that has been with me for as long as I can remember. So I applied, and it was very interesting conversation with the board. Because I think they were like, where did you come from and what are you doing? And
who are you?
Right, who am I? And so it was really lovely to make those connections. And I always say I'm not from Seneca Falls. I'm still learning a lot about Seneca Falls. But that research side of me, as soon as I started, I was researching all the exhibits, all the companies, and then it went a little further into, oh, great, I knew about governmental grants. I already knew about DRI, because previously in my professional career, I was the communications director for Matt Horn at the City of Geneva.
Oh, no
So
kidding.
the first DRI committee.
Right.
Wow.
So
been there, done that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was very, very interesting seeing all these things kind of come together. And I have to say, still talking to my friends in D.C. or the friends that I went to graduate school with there that now are in other states, talking to them before COVID about being in Seneca Falls for 2020, it was like I was just geeking out. I had to tell all my Women in Politics girls what was going on. And, so now that we've been able to do a lot of these programs virtually, I had a whole nother network that I was sending this information to and these programs to, and the online links of convention days and Equality Weekend. And so personally, that was the passion that brought me here. And so far, it's still amazing and energizing. And now seeing all this change starting to happen, we're ready. We're so ready.
Well, we're lucky to have you here in Seneca Falls for sure. And I've always said, like you said, you're reaching out to your network nationwide. That Seneca Falls still has a place in the struggle for equal rights,
absolutely,
equality, not just for women but for all people, and so it's cool that your friends who are across the country are tuned into what's going on here. We're a little town. Seneca Falls is a little town, but you'd struggle to find a town the size of Seneca Falls that's had more of an impact globally than Seneca Falls, anywhere.
I agree, and the potential that we're in right now. I mean, I just get very excited about looking at Seneca Falls 3 years from now.
Yep.
And we, again, our organization and our board is dedicated to that kind of transformation, and we're doing what we can within our building to see that happen.
To hear your story and like the come full circle type feel and the passion you have, I think it's going to be great to see what you can do moving forward after getting out of COVID, getting out of all
free.
this.
Let's see how.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And even for the locals, I think they should go and, you know, go into the visitor center that you wouldn't usually go to because you're like, I live here, I know. Yeah. But the time you take with them, like you said, could be learning so much more.
And we're going to have rotating exhibits. That's something that we really hadn't had in this space before. Right. You could have went in the space 10 years ago, and it was great to relearn some things, but there wasn't a lot of new items.
Correct.
Right. And so, for example, even one of my staff members, Bob, who is absolutely amazing, had this idea during the pandemic that there's so many local industry people and companies that were changing their way of industry and manufacturing around COVID. So now, as I said, just today, our second floor opened, and one of our exhibits on the second floor is how did our local industries currently change because of this pandemic. And so we had reached out in our different networks and worked with the Chamber of Commerce to get some of those examples. So people who come in, locals who come in, they'll see local businesses that are right around, or wineries or breweries that they love to go to, that now are making changes within their own business to help with this pandemic.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's exciting, and I just love your energy, and I just think that you're going to do great things for them and continue to do from what you already have. We did just create a brand new website for you. Do you remember the URL off the top of your head yet? I know all the rebranding has got to get you confused.
Yes, and again, because that was up for a lot of discussion in our organization, is what is the new URL? So we kept it as simple as we could, and it's sfheritagetourism.com. And luckily for our returning fans, senecamuseum.com is still in existence and just reroutes you to our new website flawlessly. So if it's something that they've had as a favorites or something that they're searching, they'll still get to the right place.
And on the website, which you guys have now fully functioning, is the option for people to send in donations, correct?
Yes, and we're starting a donation campaign just last month, and it's through the Pomeroy Foundation and with assistance from the Museum Association of New York, that they're running a matching program, 2-for-1, that helps people that were closed down because of the pandemic and small businesses that were closed down. So we have until the end of this month, since now we're in September, to raise about $2,000 more to get this match. And so we're fairly confident we can get there.
Awesome.
But people can donate on our website. And if you go to the website, there's a way to also text. And there's information how to send a check. There's information on how to just come in and donate cash or a check to us in person. But you can also go right online and do all of that process there. And it's worked very well, because we started this campaign, I think, the day after the website went live.
Oh, my goodness.
And just seeing that thermometer go up every day with donations has been extremely helpful.
Oh, that's exciting, and that's an awesome way to, go about 2020 right now, and how you guys can do that and help and give back. But I think that was really awesome hearing everything that you had to say, and it's exciting. You're going to have events coming up, hopefully more regularly now.
Well, Friday night's ribbon cutting at 5 o'clock, and kick off your Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, I think that's great. But we are so glad that you came. You did a wonderful job. I think everybody should check it out now. I'm excited. I want to go back in the nostalgic part of going there as a kid. I have not stepped foot in there.
I'm excited to see the changes.
Yeah, me too. But I do want us to run down on the weather about Labor Day weekend. After you said it was going to be so nice, I need to hear it.
Yes, it is. Friday, mostly sunny, high near 76.
Okay.
Just a slight chance of a morning shower, but I would say no. I mean, I'm no big city meteorologist, but I think Friday's going to be a great day. And then Friday night, another clear, low of 56. So if you're out by a fire.
Ooh, yes.
That would be a nice night for that. Be a nice night to sleep with the windows open and a couple of blankets on. And then Saturday, my pick day, mostly sunny, high near 75. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than that. And then, again, cool overnight Saturday night with a low of 55. And then Sunday, guess what? Mostly sunny, high near 80, a little bit warmer.
Woo.
And then Labor Day, Monday, since it's a 3-day weekend, mostly sunny, high near 79, just a 30% chance of a shower on Monday. So as you can see, ideal conditions are on tap this weekend for the new normal Labor Day weekend, or whatever you want to call it. But
do you have plans? Like, did you make Labor Day weekend plans this year, or did you guys just forget
Labor
completely?
Day weekend for me always means the club championship at Seneca Falls Country Club. So I'm going to play in that, and if I keep winning, I'll keep playing, and next thing you know, it'll be Tuesday, and I'll be the winner.
Oh, well, I actually...
But other than that, I think I'll grab dinner at a restaurant, maybe. Outdoor seating.
Yes.
At a lot of my favorite restaurants has been offered, and we've been taking advantage of it.
What would you have normally done if it wasn't a COVID Labor Day weekend? Do you think your plans would have been a lot different?
Well, a lot of times it's just house projects for us because we work a lot, and so those type of things hopefully can still happen. Mm-hmm. And it's been interesting because we've been waiting on some contractors that are waiting on equipment because of COVID. So there are some things in our home that are also on delay.
Same.
So that's what we're going to be doing.
It's tough to get somebody to come out and do something in a timely manner, mainly because they're so backed up. Because for most cases, a lot of them weren't working for a while, or. And the other thing is people thinking of just sitting around your house during the quarantine, and all of a sudden you're like, I think I want to do this, I want to do that. Yeah. You're
like, I hate everything. It all needs to change. Yeah. I feel like mine kind of sounds a little like a normal un-quarantine like Labor Day. I'm going to go out on the lake on Sunday, get like a last lake day maybe in, have a family party. I don't remember. I have another
Danny
party
Wright
on
golf
Saturday.
tournament on Friday.
Yep, I have a lot. Then I got a golf tournament on Friday. I got a party on Saturday. I got the boat day on Sunday. So for me, I'm like, it feels like a normal weekend, but at the same time, like, make it COVID style. Bring your mask. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
But nothing other than that. Very exciting for me. I wanted to touch base on, unless you wanted to go through some photos. I was going to have her. Just tell everybody what the website was again.
Photos first.
Okay. I didn't know. Oh, we do have a few more minutes, but our local photos have switched up if you haven't noticed, and we're going to check out some of them today.
Clarendon Falls, that's down in Holly, but you can see it's starting to look a little autumnish.
Oh, no. See, I'm not trying to rush it. All the fall stuff's coming out. I do want to decorate, but I'm like,
These are some Riesling grapes at, I think it's Glenora.
Beautiful. I love looking at these photos. This is the beauty you're talking about when you come home from Washington and then you're like, why did I leave? There you go. Here's the photos.
Yep. I think this is from Mendon Ponds Park in Rochester, sunrise yesterday or the day before.
Wow. That's an amazing shot.
Some beer from Ithaca Beer Brewing Company. Ithaca Beer Company, actually.
That doesn't scream Finger Lakes at all.
Yeah, we got some of the hops vines, I think, behind it there.
Love that.
And then, there's a bottle of wine.
Even more
Sheldrake. Now, that looks like it should be in a magazine.
That is beautiful. Is that from Sheldrake, it says?
Sheldrake Point on Cuga Lake, correct? Yeah, they're on Cuga.
These people are so talented with the photos they take, I swear.
And fall flowers. Any gardeners know that they... you time the blooms. You got some that bloom in spring, some that bloom all summer, some that bloom, just in summer, and some that wait and bloom in fall. And I don't know what these are called, but they're a fall bloomer.
They're cute. I like them.
Mum season, too, is about to start. I don't know if you guys like mums.
I'm a big fan of mums.
Whoa! Falls from underneath.
Where is that?
That one, I think that was Rochester. I think this is the Canandaigua Boathouses, obviously.
Perfect.
Don't know who that is walking down there, but it doesn't look like she's ready to hop on a boat.
Maybe she is. You never know. She's going to go wine trailing.
Yeah, and another shot of the famous Canandaigua Lake boat houses, and geez, I don't know who this is. And here's another shot of Rochester.
Wow, we're getting a lot from Rochester area.
Down.
They're all trying to get the Finger Lakes feels, I bet, instead of the city.
So from Shaw Vineyards and Bloomer Creek Vineyard. I never heard of Bloomer Creek, but I've certainly heard of Shaw. And packing up some wine bottles for
oh, is that a little kitty?
Transit. Yeah. And then I wanted to show this. This looks fantastic. That would be heirloom tomatoes. It's like
that's my life right there.
Egg underneath
picture.
There, some balsamic,
avocado,
avocado and toast. I mean, man,
I would eat that all day, every day.
To end it right there.
That's a good way to end it right there. Well, thank you really so much for coming on. You gave us so much good information, and I hope people come out to the ribbon cutting. It's Friday, like you said, at 5 o'clock. They can check out your website at...
if you're strolling downtown, just pop, not necessarily on Friday, but pop in.
Absolutely. We're open 7 days a week, and all that information's on our website as well as our Facebook page, which is still Seneca Museum of Waterways and Industry, and we keep that very up to date. So people who are on social media, please just follow our page, and we have a lot going on and a lot of upcoming events that you'll get lots of information about for all ages.
Yay, I love that.
Well, thanks, Rhonda, and good luck.
Thank you.
Everything you're doing for Seneca Falls is exciting, and as soon as we can open up the floodgates again, I think we'll be prepared for it and show people that visit Seneca Falls, that it was worth the trip.
We'll talk in 3 years, like you said, and see how different life
Maybe
is.
Sooner,
yeah.
I'm happy to come at any time, but in 3 years from now, doing a little comparison show would be awesome.
Oh, I love that. Well, that is all the time that we have, so thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this show. You can click like, you can share with your friends, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be back next Wednesday, and until then, have a great Labor Day weekend here in the Finger Lakes.
Happy Labor Day, everybody.